प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 1, Chapter 15, text number 16. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswati vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, and unto Narayan Rishu, the supermost human being, and unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasdev, the author. Nasprayesu abhadresu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavate uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And love in service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental song, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yat dosu ma pranihitam Guru Bhishma Karna Naptar Trigarta Salya Saindava Balika Adhyay Astrani Amoga Mahimani Nirupitani Na Upasprasu Nirharidasam Eva Asurani. Yes. Yadosana prahitam Guru Bhishma Karna Napta Trigarta Salasan Dava Balika Yadai Astrani Amoga Mahimani Nirupitani No pas prusu nirahari dasam ivasurani Yado sona pranihitam Guru Bhishma Karna Napta Trigarta Salyasai Dava Balika Dye Astrani Amoga Mahimani Nirupitani Govindama No pas prasu nirahari dasam avusurani Yadosana prahitam Guru Bhishma Karna Napta Trigarta Salyasai Dava Balika Dye Astrani Amoga Mahimani Nirupitani Napas Prasu Nirahari Dasam Ivasurani. Please recite. yato sana karma. Astrani amani no pas prusu nirari das surani yado suna prahitam guru bhishma karna atip trigarta salyasai dava balika diei astrani amoga tani no pas prusu nirharita dasam surani yado sana prahitam guru bhishma karna trigarta salyasai dava balika dei astrani amoga mahimani nirupitani no pas presu nirari dasa. Matajis, yado suma pranitam guru bhishma karna napte trigarta salyasai dava balika dye astrani amoga mahimani nirupitani dasam yado sana pranitam guru bhishma karna astrani amoga mahimani nirupitani yat unto whose dosu protection of arms ma prani hitam myself been situated guru dronacharya bhishma bhishma karna karna napter burishrava trigarta king susarma salya salya saindava king jayadrat balika brother of maharaj santanu bhishma's father adyay etc astrani weapons amoga invincible mahimani very powerful nirupitani applied na not upas prisu touched narhari dasam servitor of Narsinghadev Prahlad Eva like asurani weapons employed by the demons. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Great generals like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Burishrava, Susharma, Salya, Jayadrat and Balika all directed their invincible weapons against me. But by His Lord Krishna's grace, they could not even touch a hair on my head. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, the supreme devotee of Lord Narasimhadev, was unaffected by the weapons the demons used against him. Purport. It's a long purport, so about 3 pages of purport. The history of Prahlad Maharaj, the great devotee of Narasimha Dev, is narrated in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj, a small child of only 5 years, became the object of envy for his great father Hiranyakashipu only because of his becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. The demon father employed all his weapons to kill the devotee's son Prahlad, but by the grace of the Lord, he was saved from all sorts of dangerous actions by his father. He was thrown in a fire in boiling oil from the top of a hill underneath the legs of an elephant, and he was administered poison. At last the father himself took up a chopper to kill his son, and thus Narasimha Dev appeared and killed the heinous father in the presence of the son. Thus no one can kill the devotee of the Lord. Similarly, Arjun was also saved by the Lord, although all dangerous weapons were employed by his great opponents like Bhishma. Karna, born of Kunti by the sun god prior to her marriage with Maharaj Pandu, Karna took the birth with bangles and earrings, extraordinary signs for an undaunted hero. In the beginning his name was Vasusena, but when he grew up he presented his natural bangles and earrings to Indradev, and thenceforward he became known as Vaikartana. After his birth from the maiden Kunti, he was thrown in the Ganges. Later he was picked up by Adirath, and he and his wife Radha brought him up as their own offspring. Karan was very charitable, especially towards the Brahmanas. There was nothing he could not spare for a Brahmana. In the same charitable spirit, he gave in charity his natural bangles and earrings to Indradev, who being very much satisfied with him, gave him in return a great weapon called Shakti. He was admitted as one of the students of Dronacharya, and from the very beginning there was some rivalry between him and Arjun. Seeing his constant rivalry with Arjun, Duryodhan picked him up as his companion, and this gradually grew into greater intimacy. He was also present in the great assembly of Draupadi's Swayamvar function, and when he attempted to exhibit his talent in that meeting, Draupadi's brother declared that Karan could not take part in the competition because of his being the son of a Sudra carpenter. Although he was refused in the competition, still when Arjun was successful in piercing the eye target on the ceiling and Draupadi bestowed a garland upon Arjun, Karan and the other disappointed princesses offered an unusual stumbling block to Arjun while he was living with Draupadi. Specifically, Karan fought with him very valiantly, but all of them were defeated by Arjun. Duryodhan was very much pleased with Karan because of his constant rivalry with Arjun, and when he was in power, he enthroned Karan in the state of Anga. Being baffled in his attempt to win Draupadi, Karan advised Duryodhan to attack King Drupad, for after defeating him, both Arjun and Draupadi could be arrested. But Dronacharya rebuked them for this conspiracy, and they refrained from the action. Karan was defeated many times not only by Arjun but also by Bhimasen. He was the king of the kingdom of Bengal, Orissa and Madras combined. Later on he took an active part in the Rajasuya sacrifice of Maharaj Yudhishthir, and when there was gambling between the rival brothers designed by Sakuni, Karan took part in the game, and he was very pleased with Draupadi when Draupadi was offered as a bet in the gambling. This fed his old grudge. When Draupadi was in the game, he was very enthusiastic to declare the news, and it is he who ordered Dusasan to take away the garments of both the Pandavas and Draupadi. He asked Draupadi to select another husband because, being lost by the Pandavas, she was rendered a slave of the Kurus. He was always an enemy of the Pandavas, and whenever there was an opportunity, he tried to curb them by all means. During the battle of Kurukshetra, he foresaw the conclusive result, and he expressed his opinion that due to Lord Krishna's being the chariot driver of Arjun, the battle should be won by Arjun. He always differed with Bhishma, and sometimes he was proud enough to say that within 5 days he could finish up the Pandavas, if Bhishma would not interfere with his plan of action. But he was much mortified when Bhishma died. He killed Katotkach with a Shakti weapon obtained from Indradev. His son Vrisasen was killed by Arjun. He killed the largest number of Pandava soldiers. At last there was a severe fight with Arjun, and it was he only who was able to knock off the helmet of Arjun. But it so happened that the wheel of his chariot stuck in the battlefield mud, and when he got down to set the wheel right, Arjun took the opportunity and killed him, although he requested Arjun not to do so. Napta or Burishrawa. Burishrawa was the son of Somadat, a member of the Kuru family. His other brother was Salya. Both the brothers and the father attended the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi. All of them appreciated the wonderful strength of Arjun due to his being the devotee friend of the Lord. And thus Burishra advised the sons of Dhritarashtra not to pick any quarrel or fight with them. All of them also attended the Rajasuya Yagya of Maharaj Yudhishthira. He possessed one Akshauhini regiment of army, cavalry, elephants and chariots, and all these were employed in the battle of Kurukshetra on behalf of Duryodhana's party. He was counted by Bhima as one of the Yuttapatis. In the battle of Kurukshetra, he was especially engaged in a fight with Satyaki, and he killed 10 sons of Satyaki. Later on, Arjun cut off his hands and he was ultimately killed by Satyaki. After his death, he merged into the existence of Vishwadev. Trigarth or Susarma, son of Maharaj Vriddhakshetra, he was the king of Trikartatesh. And he was also present in the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi. He was one of the allies of Duryodhana, and he advised Duryodhana to attack the Matyades, Darbhanga during the time of cow stealing in Viratanagar. He was able to arrest Maharaj Virat, but later Maharaj Virat was released by Bhim. In the battle of Kurukshetra, he also fought very valiantly, but at the end he was killed by Arjun. Jayadratha, another son of Maharaj Vriddhakshetra, he was the king of Sindhu Desh, modern Sindh, Pakistan. His wife's name was Dusala. He was also present in the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi, and he desired very strongly to have her hand, but he failed in the competition. But since then, he always sought the opportunity to get in touch with Draupadi. When he was going to marry in the Salya days on the way to Kamyavan, he happened to see Draupadi again and was too much attracted to her. The Pandavas and Draupadi were then in exile after losing their empire in gambling, and Jayadratha thought it wise to send news to Draupadi in an illicit manner through Kotisasya, one of his associates. Draupadi at once refused vehemently the proposal of Jayadratha, but being so much attracted by the beauty of Draupadi, he tried again and again. Every time he was refused by Draupadi, he tried to take her away forcibly on his chariot, and at first Draupadi gave him a good dashing, and he fell like a cut root tree. But he was not discouraged, and he was able to force Draupadi to sit on the chariot. This incident was seen by Daumya Muni, and he strongly protested the action of Jayadratha. He also followed the chariot, and through Datrika, the matter was brought to the notice of Maharaj Yudhishthira. The Pandavas then attacked the soldiers of Jayadratha and killed them all, and at last Bhima caught hold of Jayadratha and beat him very severely, almost dead. Then all but 5 hairs was cut off his head, and he was taken to all the kings and introduced as the slave of Maharaj Yudhishthira. He was forced to admit himself to be the slave of Maharaj Yudhishthira before all the princely order, and in the same condition he was brought before Maharaj Yudhishthira. Maharaj Yudhishthira was kind enough to order him released, and when he admitted to being a tributary prince under Maharaj Yudhishthira, Queen Draupadi also desired his release. After this incident, he was allowed to return to his country. Being so insulted, he went to Gangatri in the Himalayas and undertook a severe type of penance to please Lord Shiva. He asked his benediction to defeat all the Pandavas, at least one at a time. Then the battle of Kurukshetra began, and he took sides with Duryodhana. In the first day's fight, he was engaged with Maharaj Drupad, then with Virat, and then with Abhimanyu. While Abhimanyu was being killed, mercilessly surrounded by 7 great generals, the Pandavas came to his help. But Jayadratha, by the mercy of Lord Shiva, repulsed them with great ability. At this, Arjun took a vow to kill him, and on hearing this, Jayadratha wanted to leave the warfield and ask permission from the Kauravas for his cowardly action. But he was not allowed to do so. On the contrary, he was obliged to fight with Arjun, and while the fight was going on, Lord Krishna reminded Arjun that the benediction of Shiva upon Jayadratha was that whoever will cause his head to fall on the ground will die at once. He therefore advised Arjun to throw the head of Jayadratha directly onto the lap of his father, who was engaged in penances at the Samanta Panchak pilgrimage. This was actually done by Arjun. Jayadratha's father was surprised to see a severed head on his lap, and he at once threw it to the ground. The father immediately died, his forehead being cracked in 7 pieces. Om Jnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakya Chakshun Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Krishna Swadamopakate Dharma Jnanad Bisaha Kalau Nasta Drisamesa Puranarka Dono Dita. This Bhagavad Puran is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Bhagavad Purana. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimati Gopal Krishna Goswami Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastatata Satarine. So, very long purport. But in essence, we are going to be celebrating the appearance day of Lord Narasimha Dev in a few days here. Narasimha Dev Bhagwan ki. So, if we meditate on the prayers that we sing every day, we have the stanza, Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha Yato Yato Yami Tato Narasimha. It basically we are praying to the Lord that Lord Narasimha is here and also there. So whenever I go to Lord Narasimha, is there. He is within the heart and is outside as well. I surrender to Lord Narasimha, the origin of all things in the supreme refuge. So what we can see from here is how Arjun is bereft of the association and protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is the position that we as devotees should always be in. We should always be at the mercy and asking for the protection of the Lord. And that's why we pray to Lord Narasimha Dev every morning or every day. Srila Prabhupada comments on surrendering that the Supreme Personality is not, there is a very important thing Srila Prabhupada comments in the Bhagavatam purports, that to surrender onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, generally if you look in the material world, when you surrender onto someone, it's seen as a sign of weakness. Because you're surrendering to someone, we do not know if that person may use the advantage of seeing that, I am above this person, I can go ahead and manipulate this person. Especially in the business world, we try to take advantage of situations where we know we have the upper hand. But what Srila Prabhupada is saying in his purports is that when we surrender to the Supreme Personality of God, it's actually not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. When we surrender onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is not the same as what we are experienced to in the material world. And this is a very, this is also stated very strongly in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, the most confidential knowledge, in shloka number 14, Lord Krishna says, Devi hi esha gunamai, mama maya duratyaya, mam eva ye prapadyante, maya metam tarantite. So the Lord says that this divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross behind it. So we know that intelligence is that when you cannot defeat someone, then you better surrender to that person. And we know that the three modes of material nature cannot be defeated by our own efforts. So Srila Prabhupada states in the purport to Devi hi esha gunamai that due to contamination by the inferior nature, which is matter, the living entity's illusion is also eternal. Although we belong to the superior energy, But because of the association with matter from time immemorial, our illusion is also eternal. And that's why we are called Nitya Baddhas. That means we are conditioned souls, eternally conditioned souls. So Srila Prabhupada continues to say, because of material energy is ultimately conducted by the supreme will, the living entity cannot overcome it. Because although the material energy is inferior, it is still under the direction of Lord Shri Krishna. And that's why Lord Krishna actually in the verse, if you see the Bhagavad Gita verse, he says, Devi Yesha Gunamai. He is actually calling it the divine energy, but it is actually the material energy. Why is it divine? Because it is being controlled by the Supreme Lord. Not only is it being controlled by the Supreme Lord, but who is the magician behind? Who is the one who is pulling the strings? It's Lord Krishna. So intelligence, that is why it is so important for us to surrender. And that is what Arjun did. So, Srila Prabhupada continues to say that although Maya is force or temporary, it is controlled, as I mentioned, by the supreme magician, the personality of Godhead. One of the meanings also of the word guna means rope. So we conditioned souls are tightly bound by the rope of what? Now this is proof. Do we read Srila Prabhupada's books very seriously? Do we read his purpose very seriously? So Srila Prabhupada is saying that we are tightly bound by the ropes of what? So Srila Prabhupada says that we are tightly bound by the ropes of illusion. Because we are always thinking, I, me, everything. I'm the doer of everything. That is an illusion. So, he continues to say that because the bound cannot help the bound, the rescuer should be liberated. Because we are seeking to try and get unbound by those who are already bound by the material forces. So in order to get released from these clutches, we need to get the shelter of someone who is liberated. And only Lord Krishna or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master, can release the conditioned soul. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki? Yes. So only through the mercy of Guru. Guru Kripa Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So the Lord out of his causeless mercy on the surrendered soul and out of his paternal affection can order this insurmountable energy to release the conditioned soul. But in order to do this, we have to take the first step. And that step is what? Surrender. Therefore, surrendering onto the lotus feet of the Lord is... Now, this is very interesting. Whenever I read the purports, now we have BBT editors sitting here also in Archita Prabhu. But these are very choice words. It says, when you surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord, is the only means to get free from the clutches of the stringent material nature. It says it's the only. It doesn't say it's one of the means. It says it's the only means. So, is there any other means? No, exactly. There is no other means. So let's be, so analytical study of Srila Prabhupada's books and purports is very key for us. Because it is the only means. So that means there is no other means. There is no neti business. There is no scope for us to think, oh, what if I do it this way? Oh, let me do it this way. There is no neti business. Because it's the only business is to surrender. Am I correct? So it's the only business we have. Now, why is this important? It's important because I was listening also to Gaur Govind Maharaj's lecture. And when Gaur Govind Maharaj spoke, he could really shake the mic. And Maharaj was saying, what is one of the supreme or the most important supreme instruction of the Bhagavad Gita? And it is Sarva Dharma Parityagya Mam Ekam Saranam Vraj Ham Tama Sarva Papayo Mokshami Masucha. Surrender unto me. Abandon all varieties of religion. That is the 1866. Krishna concludes. And that's why we know that when Lord Krishna is on the planet, he concludes by just telling us to surrender. But that process of surrender is taught to us in the age of Kali Yuga by the mercy of Patita Pavan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the process of surrender, of how it's done, is actually taught to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Pancha Tattva. But Lord Krishna leaves us the instruction of surrender. And what does he say? That abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Not only do we not have to fear, but we are also released from all sinful reactions. And that's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, boldly declare to the world, Kontiya pratijani name bhakta pranasyanti. Declare boldly that my devotee never perishes. And you can see this from Arjun's own example. When he's speaking, now we should understand who Arjun is. He was the greatest archer, greatest warrior of his time. So he was not an ordinary jiva. He was not an ordinary being. He was a Saka. He was a friend of the Supreme Personality of God. These are very elevated positions. And yet, he feels that all his power was due to the mercy and benediction of who? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now look at the mood of a devotee. A devotee always feels that whatever he or she has is because of the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unlike in the material world, where we feel pride and feel that we are the doer of activities that actually are conducted by the three modes of material nature. So it's a total transformation of consciousness. Now, we should also understand the position of the Pandavas. You know, there is also a very interesting story, because Draupadi had asked for a husband, and when she asked for the boon for her husband, she asked that, she will get the strongest husband, she'll get the most intelligent husband, she'll get the most handsome husband. Now, it's not something that can be attained in one personality. Now, she had 5 husbands, and all these 5 husbands represented what we really seek for, because the Ashwini Kumars were very beautiful. Bhima was very strong. Arjun was the greatest archer. Yudhishthira was very learned. But all these great personalities, one of the things we have to understand, when this gambling match took place and Draupadi was called, what did Draupadi do first? Obviously, she went to seek protection from who? From the elders. She went to Bhishma, she went to Guru, she went to Dhritarashtra. Obviously, her husbands could not protect her. And remember, who are her husbands? Are they ordinary human beings? The strongest person on the planet, Bhima was there. Arjun, the greatest archer, was there, but no one could give her protection. What does that tell us? That we cannot protect even ourselves. Because the Pandavas could not protect themselves. They could not protect their wife. She sought protection from whom? From the elders. No one could give her protection. At last, she sought protection from whom? From the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when she finally raised her hands and asked for the mercy of the Lord, then the Lord came to protect. So you can see that we should be using this very practically in our own lives. That when the Pandavas could not protect their own wife, could not protect themselves, who are we thinking that we can be able to protect ourselves without the mercy and shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? I have a lot to say, but the purport is long, time is running, and today we have a special function that I do not want to delay on. Basically, we have the family of Deepak and Aarti Verma, Deepak is there, and Aarti Mataji, where did she go? Maybe she went out. So they are here for the first grain giving ceremony for their child, Kian Verma, and that will be conducted by Sura Prabhu. They are, they are also trying to seek the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You know, Srila Prabhupada gave us instructions that we should not become parents if we cannot take our children back home, back to Godhead. So they're trying to follow that example. They're trying to get the blessings of all the senior Vaishnavas. And they have also sponsored the breakfast today. So I will let Sura Prabhu conduct the ceremony in the presence of the deities. Basically, you know, we have the 4 things on the plate, which is the Bhagavatam, which is some Lakshmi. We have a sword, and then we have kartals, and we'll see what will the child pick. And then we have sought, they have sought that some senior Prabhupada disciples will also feed the rice. And then after that, we'll go and honor prasadam. Srimad Bhagavatam class ki. Yeah. Any questions? Yes, Prabhu. So is your question, how will we keep on remembering that? Or is your question about how do we surpass that notion that, hey, I'm doing it on my own and Krishna is not? So I just want to understand the question. Service, service, service. Seva, seva, seva. Because when you do seva, 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 you keep on cheto darpana, you keep on cleaning. Unless Archita Prabhu has another answer. But my main thing is engage in seva. Don't let anything come to your mind. Srimad Bhagavatam class ki.